I have to fix all these things before we can go, because I didn't put all of our captions on. They're still stuck on Michael. We don't want things stuck on Michael's. We don't want. This isn't Barry Beat.
Does it say Barry Beat?
Yeah, it said Barry Beat, but I fixed it. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to 802 Scoop Table Talk live from 185 North Main Street in Barrie. It's not too bad outside.
No, and it's going to get warmer.
It was reasonable when I got up this morning. It's reasonable right now.
Well, it's still what? Only in the high teens?
Yeah.
But isn't it going to hit like 30?
I think so, and it's better than zero.
Better than zero.
And the wind
below.
isn't blowing or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's been killer. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I think on Thursday they said sunshine.
Really? Because we're supposed
Only
to get
a little bit, just a glimpse.
We're supposed to get rain.
Yeah, but just a glimpse of sunshine. It shows partly cloudy. Yeah.
Your little doggies will be happy if it's not cold and there's no snow on their racetrack.
They will. Their racetrack is getting some snow on it again, and they're not very happy about that. Only a little bit, though. It's not that bad. It's not that deep. And, I mean, nothing has to be that deep for them, though, because their legs are so short and little.
McCormick's belly hangs down lower than Oliver's. It kind of drags.
Yes.
So Oliver stays behind McCormick when they run because he kind of plows with his belly.
Right.
Yeah.
Then he's smart.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
his brother will clear the way. Yeah. What do we have going on tonight? City Council.
City Council tonight. Yeah. What do we got on the agenda tonight? Let's see.
There's a couple of things that I've been waiting to come on the agenda, but I haven't seen them yet. I know that Summer Street Tavern should be on the agenda. She's been waiting for quite a while now to go on the agenda for the event that she wants to have in the spring. But it says, when I look under licensing and permitting, it says none. So I'm assuming that she's not on the agenda tonight. Or that would have been there.
If she hasn't filed it with Cheryl yet.
Oh, no, she has.
Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah.
And she may want to remind Cheryl.
Waiting to hear to be on the agenda.
Well, it's not till April. I mean, so.
Right, but she's got to get clearance so she can start advertising and getting people. She needs to know it can actually happen.
Well, she should probably just check in with Cheryl.
Yeah, that's what I told her.
Friendly reminder.
Right, that's what I told her this morning. But what else we got going on?
What do we have tonight? We have, fiscal year 27 budget baseline discussion. So basically, we're just going to talk about where we think we should be and any ideas of how we're going to get there. That's just like kind of like a pre-game warning to the department heads that this is what the council is going to be looking for, because then they have what's called a budget. I can't remember what it's called now, but anyway, all the department heads are locked up in a room for 1, sometimes 2 days, going through everybody's budgets.
And then you all go through it line by line and discuss it and
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it goes to the council to look at. So it'll be a process, I'm sure. Looking at the way things are right now, people can't afford much more. But and you see a school budget's going up 7.2.
Yes, and I saw there was an article in the Daily Chronicle. I shared it. Gina Galfetti is asking that they put a hold on property taxes for 3 years. She's putting that forth.
That's a pretty bold move.
That's, a big move to do that. So I don't know. We'll see if such a thing can happen. I can't imagine that something like that would get pushed through, but I guess you never know, right?
No.
Can't hurt to ask.
Hey, it's better to ask for a lot more than what you're looking for.
Right, exactly.
Because then you can always trim down to where you really wanted to be.
Right, maybe you could even get a year or something.
I used to do that when I did my budget proposals for the facilities department.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that.
Oh, yeah, that's a shocker.
Yeah, So, and of course, all kinds of conversation on the page, and definitely the last few days has been a little wild on the page. All kinds of conversation that we seem to be provoking, which is a good thing. That's what
Yeah.
it's there for.
Yeah.
Seth Fewer was in the other night with Michael.
Yep.
He was here with his hearse. That got all kinds of attention. I, picking on him, told him to clean off his roof. Picking on him, kind of. Picking on him, not. I mean, he really should clean off
Oh
the
yeah.
roof if he's going to be driving it. 'Cause it's
Everybody
dangerous.
should clear the snow off their vehicle.
But I was giving him shit. I wasn't like, and so some guy called me a Karen. So I called him Dick, just in case, you know.
Well,
I just let him know. I'm just harassing him, Dick.
could have called you Linda. You know.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda, that's what I say to you all the time.
I know.
Listen, Linda. Take a round out of you. Yeah. So what else we got on there?
CDBG-DR application update. That's the grants, community grants for flood projects. This is round 2. I don't know. We've been
Right,
told
because there's more money coming out.
there's more money
supposedly.
coming out. You know, I think we're coming back with the North End project and see what happens. You got to keep throwing it at the wall until
And
it
the
sticks.
North End project is what?
It's tearing down some houses, opening up a bigger floodplain. It's also, at one point, it had a 4 or 5 story apartment building. You know, I haven't looked at it since the first round went through.
You would think that would have come first out of the gate. I mean, the North End is who suffered the
Right.
most significant damage, and
Yeah.
literally still looks a little bit like a war zone down there in certain locations.
Because people are on hold, they don't know what they can
Yeah,
do.
they don't know what to do. It's sad. So hopefully that can happen.
That's let's see, then we'll have our weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, flood resiliency plan update with Amanda. And then revision to city fee schedule. So every year, we look at what the city's charging fees for towing, you know, parked cars, you know, that are illegally parked, all the rates at the Civic Center, licensing fees. We just go through the whole thing and see
Right.
if we need to adjust any up or maybe
Fines,
down.
things like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like an annual process.
late fees, all that good stuff.
That's about it. I believe there will be an executive session tonight. I can't speak to that yet.
Well, maybe next time.
Maybe
Or
next
the
time.
time after, because
Yeah.
at some point maybe you'll be able to speak
So it
to
won't.
that.
It doesn't look like it's going to be a big, long, heavy night tonight.
Well, that's good.
But we have to come back tomorrow at noon because the agenda wasn't sent to the Times-Argus to be posted. So we can meet, but then tomorrow we have to ratify what we've done. Yeah.
And so you'll do that at noon. So instead of one meeting this week, you get 2, and yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Tonight is
It's going to be right at lunchtime too. That
at noon.
they're disrupting my lunch schedule.
Well, maybe you should make them take you out to lunch.
no, that's quite all right.
That's quite all right.
I have-
You don't want to go out to lunch.
I'd have someone better to have lunch with than them.
Yes, you do, babe. What else do we have going on? So the next thing is, let's talk about the letter to the editor that I shared that Steve McKenzie wrote. You had actually brought that to my attention and said, did you read the letter that Steve wrote in regards to comments that Jo Ellen has made? And we all know that she makes some pretty disgusting comments to everybody on everything. Anyway, I don't know that I know many that are so negative about a place they live as that woman is. But Steve's letter was pretty important about what the BADC does.
Yeah.
And I did see a couple of comments saying, what do they do? Do they actually do good for the city? And I certainly think so. When we have new businesses coming in, they certainly help those new businesses find locations, find funding, advertising. They really help them get up off the ground. If you have questions along the way, they're there to help you maneuver,
Right.
permits and everything.
And
They
you know what?
literally walk people
Those guys
through.
don't get paid a penny.
Right, they're all volunteers.
It's all volunteer.
And a lot of those volunteers literally give up a lot of their own money too.
Yes, they did.
For the J.J. Newberry building,
Yes, they
in
did.
particularly.
Yep.
Yeah, they all put in what was it, like $5,000 into the pot.
I think it was $5,000.
Yeah.
It came out to like what, 75?
So each board member contributed to making sure that all got done.
Right.
And that's huge. And as you say, they're volunteers. They
Yeah.
don't get paid to do. And the money the city puts forth toward them.
In her comments was, she makes it sound like they're multimillionaires or whatever, but those guys have worked hard for many years to build their businesses up and to help Barry build businesses.
And there's a couple that are bank tellers.
Yeah.
They're not all business owners, and they're certainly not rolling in it,
No.
for sure.
They're
As far as I know, Steve
a good
McKenzie
group of
was-
people that care about Barry City, Barry Town.
Exactly. And I mean, Steve McKenzie worked for the city for a lot of years. I'm just guessing he didn't make millions doing that.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't. Or
he did, nobody knew about it.
we would have heard about that long
Yeah,
ago.
I'm sure we would have.
Yeah, people would have been really up in arms. Let's see. Barb says, well, she and Glenn both say hi, and then I think all the money that they're wasting on putting in floodplains could be saved if they would only dredge the river. I have never seen so much money being wasted since we had the flooding. And I think a lot of people agree with that they should have dredged, especially over the summer when you could literally have walked from Barry to Montpelier in the river because it was so low, and some places were just dirt, and you could really see all of the debris that was in there. So, yeah. It's too bad that kind of stuff didn't get done. But we'll see how it goes.
You can only
Not part
do
of the
what the
plan.
state allows you to do.
Right, exactly, unfortunately. Joe Edson says wing a ding tomorrow night at the VFW, so that starts at 5 p.m. and that's when Donna Thunder and her crew go and they sing, and you never know who's going to be there with her. It's a great time, and all the proceeds, and you can get other things besides wings. The kitchen is open. Ron Tallman's usually the one cooking up the wings, but all the proceeds go to local veterans and their families, so that's a really good event. And their breakfast is coming up soon too. Joe Edson also says get rid of the city manager, and that's something that we've been hearing a lot lately.
That a lot lately.
A lot lately in comments and out loud, and I'm not really sure what's going to come of all of that. And what people don't understand is it's not an elected position.
No, it's not.
So we've had to kind of talk about those comments and let people know that there's really not a lot, I don't believe, that the community could do.
No.
About it, except, I guess, be honest and just speak
Everybody's
your
got a right to speak their mind.
Right.
And there's all kinds of methods out there. There's
Yeah.
social media, there's letters to the editor.
Yeah.
If you-
Emails, send letters yourself. Yeah.
If you feel that strongly about it, voice your opinion.
And people can present to the council as well.
Yes.
Everybody has the right to go to the council meetings and be there during visitors and communications.
Yes.
That can happen at any time via Zoom or in person. So, yeah. And then, yes, Joe, breakfast at the VFW is Saturday, January 17th. Also a really good time, really good breakfast, and it's just good. Yeah, all the way around. Glenn says who hired him. So it's a council decision, right? All together.
Yeah.
And I believe he came on during Jake's tenure.
Boy, I don't,
I believe he was
he's
here.
only been here 3 years?
Yeah, I think he was here during Jake's tenure.
Might have been right at the end of it.
Yeah.
But
So, but anyway, that's that. And then Barb says Joellen Mulvaney is just a miserable person. And I think that's the general consensus. And I think that people have really caught on to that. And more people than not tend to ignore her at this point, or ask her to move to Burlington, where her daughter is. So don't forget tonight's Open Hearts meeting at the Turning Point Center of Central Vermont, and that's right over on Air Street. I will be there tonight. I'd actually forgotten about it because I didn't go last Tuesday, and then sometimes stuff like that runs away with me. But that starts at 4 p.m., and I'll be over there, and you can attend that in person or via Zoom, and the Zoom meeting ID is just the phone number 802-479-7373, and there are spaces between the 802, the 479, and
now listen, Linda, you've been under the weather a little bit, so make sure you feel good before you're going to pick up your new prescriptions.
I will make sure
Linda,
that I go do all that stuff.
Listen,
I
Linda.
promise. Don't get mouthy.
Huh?
Yeah. Huh? Barb says, nice sweatshirt, Jeff. She has one too. Barb does.
Has what?
A sweatshirt. She says, nice sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that a beauty? I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep, she has one too. She loves her sweatshirt.
I thought she said nice lecture. Well, I was trying to set you down the right path, but Linda.
You're pushing it. You're going to be in big trouble. You fix your own damn supper tonight.
I didn't call you Karen, did I?
Yeah. But anyways, if you are somebody that loves an addict, no matter what, if you're a friend, family member, girlfriend, whatever you are, and you are someone who, I mean, if it's their problem, it's your problem. They just don't necessarily understand that and realize that. So, yeah. Attend. And we'll talk it out so you don't have to go through it by yourself. And Recovery Day is coming up as well. So we'll be doing some stuff surrounding that with the Turning Point Center and the Vermont Prevention Coalition, things like that on Wednesday, February 11th.
So you want to remind people about Friday night's event has been postponed.
Yes, that was next on the agenda.
Wow, great minds think alike.
Yes.
Wow.
So Friday night's event, the Turning Point Vermont, has been postponed, and hopefully, I know it's going to be in February. And I'll tell you, so I am super excited about this just because it's good to see a kid get involved.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the message, the person, any of it, just to see a kid get involved in anything is huge. It's better than what we see, right?
Right.
Addicts or, falling into trouble and
Seems to be a
doing all
bright
these
young
things.
man.
He is a bright young man, and it's good to see him, stepping up and doing something and taking initiative to do these things and hold these events. And it's a shame that people are as rotten about it as they are. And boy, they really are. And you can have a difference of opinion, just don't go. You don't have to go. But, why be a real asshole to the kid? I'm not sure what the point in that is. We should be supporting, people support all kinds of things around here that I certainly don't support, but I don't stand outside them and with signs and threaten to shut it down and make a complete ass out of myself. And I'm sure that we could rally the troops and make such a protest happen with all kinds of things that happen around here. But we don't. It happens. We might bitch a little bit here and there, but we don't get out of control.
Right.
And the
Everybody's
other
got a
side
right
seems
to speak their mind.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's super sad that that happens. But anyways, it's been postponed, and they'll make sure that it's going to give them a little more time just to make sure that everything, all the people that they wanted to speak can speak. And when I say that, there was independents, there was progressives, there was Democrats,
Yeah.
and there was Republicans. It's people from all different political parties and all different affiliations. And you don't have to like the Turning Point agenda. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just don't go then.
Right.
No one
Exactly.
is forcing you to go to the thing, but you can peacefully let it happen because it affects you in no way. How does it affect you?
Right.
It doesn't, unless you go. And some people will want to go, one, because they're curious. Two, maybe they want to ask the opposing person. I saw a couple of people say, well, now that I know Phil Scott's going, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Well, why? If you have something negative or you have something that you're upset with him about, why wouldn't you go so that you would have the opportunity to bring that up to him?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, exactly, Glenn. There's nothing wrong with listening, and if you don't want to listen, then you don't have to.
Right.
That's the beauty of it all. We all pick and choose what we can participate in. So hopefully that gets rescheduled soon. I'm told that now it'll be sometime in February. I'm definitely going, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and I just, I really want to, I want to be supportive of him because, like I said, I think it's pretty awesome that a kid is willing to go that extra mile and learn, and he really is passionate about it.
Yep.
It's not something that he just...
I mean, I was going, and I'll go in February unless it, conflicts with something else. I don't know if it's late in February. I think the last week. No, actually, I checked on it. That's right. The basketball tournaments now are not going to start until the first week of March, not the last week of
Right.
February. So.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. You did some tournaments this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What tournaments were those?
So Jim McWilliam, who's the marketing guy up at the Civic Center, a few years ago, he's done a few things. He had like a college basketball thing going on for a while. That kind of went on hold because we had a hard time with the state universities wanting to participate. So then he looked at this new thing I think it's either the third or fourth year he's done this. He calls it the Winter Solstice Tournament. And it's not really a tournament. It's just getting local high school teams to play games at the auditorium. So, each school in the high school basketball in the state, you have, let's say you play a 20-game schedule. 10 of those games are your home games, 10 are your away games. So each team that plays at the Berry Auditorium in this little tournament, that counts as one of their home games. So he had, this year, it was Friday night, and he had Williamstown boys and girls and Twinfield, I think Twinfield's like Twinfield Danville, Twinfield Cabot is what they are now. So they played, the girls played a game, then the boys played a game. That was Friday night. Saturday, there were 4 games. There was Hazen and People's Academy boys, then Hazen and People's Academy girls. Then the Spalding girls played the U32 girls.
And won that game super
They did.
close.
Yeah, that was a real good game.
That was pretty intense towards the
And
end.
then the last game was the Spalding boys and Montpelier boys. So it's great. I mean, they had decent crowds there for it.
And then the stuff that will come up in March is, of
That's
course,
that's the
big
state
tournaments.
championship
Yep,
tournaments.
that's
Yeah,
the big stuff.
and basically what the auditorium hosts for those are just the semifinals and finals. So that'll run the first and second weeks of March, and I'm not sure who's first this year, if it's girls or boys, but you have Monday night, Monday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night are semifinal games, and then on Saturday there's 4 championship games. So they do that the first week, and they come back and do it again the second week. So I think the boys are first, so they'll play that first week, and then the girls the second week.
And we'll be talking about that more. We're going to have some people
Oh, yeah.
in, and we'll
Yeah.
be talking about that some more.
And then Sunday, they had a Coyotes game at the auditorium.
Yep, and they had some stuff going on at the BOR this weekend
Spalding
as well.
boys and girls hockey
And
games.
so, and we'll repeat again, if you have any free time and you're willing
Yeah.
to donate your time to the concession stand, please,
And we found out yesterday,
that Teresa and Lisa from Tasty Bites both,
went up and volunteered and helped in the concession.
yeah, because neither of them work like crazy amount of hours
I know,
already.
they're-
I mean, my gosh, yeah, it's insane that they were willing to do that. But yeah, we got to go backward a little bit because the comments, unfortunately, there's a lag.
There's a lag.
And so, and there always is. I mean,
Yeah.
we see that at home when we're trying to Zoom with Michael, comments and stuff. I answer him right away, but he sees it like 3 minutes later.
When we go on through the home studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other night when he was asking us something, if he sounded okay, and I kept answering him, but he couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Or he didn't know I was replying yet. So, but Bev says people are saying that it's a lie about the safety concerns for the Turning Point event. What do you say to them? Everyone does have a right to a peaceful gathering. So, yes, one, it's not a lie. So, there was a lot of commentary, and there was a lot of people asking about security, people that
Right.
were going to attend that were starting to feel uncomfortable about attending, and there were a lot of people asking, is there going to be security? And because there were a lot of people feeling as though they wanted that there in order for them to agree to
Right.
attend. And then also they wanted to make sure that everybody they had invited was able to come. So some people were feeling like they couldn't fit it into the schedule, or it was last minute notice, and they wanted to make sure that everybody that they had invited was going to be able to speak if they wanted to speak. And they had several that had already confirmed, but I guess there were a few others that were asked, and they needed more time
Yeah.
to make sure that everybody had the opportunity that wanted to be a part of that.
Right.
So, unfortunately, it got postponed. I was, and my biggest concern was, truthfully, my concern was that people were going to assume that it got postponed, like, oh, we won. We were such assholes about it that they just decided not to do it. We scared them away. That is not at all what
No.
happened, not even close to what happened. There were a lot of people asking about security. And so we just wanted to we wanted to let them know, but as well as the event, the people holding the event know that to make sure that it was a safe,
Right.
peaceful event, that we just waited a little bit longer before the event happened, and so that everybody that wanted to attend could attend, and nothing less, nothing more than that. It definitely wasn't a lie. If anybody read any of the comments online, you would know that why there became some concern. It happened the same thing. We went to an event over at the Elks. I can't even remember what it was for now. But there was an event over there, and there was a protest in the park at the
Right.
same time. And,
Yeah.
and we ended up having to have security that night. I think the chief and a couple of other officers came, and they stayed throughout the night through the
Yeah.
whole thing. And it ended up being okay, but people felt more comfortable that they were there.
It's today's day and age. It's, you see shit that happens on TV and, and stuff that probably could have been avoided. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you just want everybody to be safe
Right.
at these events.
And you want to make sure that people feel welcome. And if that's the one, if they're asking for that, if they're asking that
Yeah.
you have to make sure that there's some sort of security, then that's what you do. Yes, Rosemary, it was Americans for Prosperity. That was the event that we went to
Yeah.
at the Elks. And it was a problem and shouldn't have been. So, but nobody got scared away. Nobody won. The event's still going to take place.
It's still going to happen.
It's, you know, and the fact that it's put out there that way is almost as disgusting as the shitty comments was that, oh, we won. We you know, we scared them away.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's going to happen.
Yeah, you can't. Nice try. Didn't work. Giroux General Transport, they have a class coming up on January 19th. It is a daytime class, but if you have not already signed up, you still can, but that just means, Tracy says, that you have to have your DOT, physical, all of that stuff already has to be done, and then you could get in, but it says you'll need your DOT, physical, permit, and secured funding already, because it's too late to get those fundings now. Funding takes about 3 weeks, and DMV is booking out a couple of weeks as well. Anyone contacting her that hasn't started any of the process will be signed up for the next class, and we'll be announcing when that next class is. So if you have all those things already and you still want to get in there, it is possible.
Yeah.
But if you don't, call her anyway, and she'll just get you on the next track.
That's great that they're,
Yeah.
you know,
It just
they're
won't be
keeping.
the daytime track.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be in the night one.
Yep.
And that's all right too. I
Good
know
for them.
that.
You know, they're doing well with that.
And so, Linda, I just got a message from Linda Kuchar, who is saying any updates on the
I
Newberry.
thought you were calling me Linda.
No, not
Oof,
this time.
It's a good thing.
Any update on the Newberry's building? Last I knew, they were waiting for a signed purchase agreement, and
Which
that
will happen.
that will happen
Well, not tonight. We will approve. Either Steve. Originally, Steve McKenzie was going to sign it. He can sign it, but I think we have to have the manager and the mayor approve it too, because it's the city. It's going to be city property. But we're working that out, and it's still on the agenda for signature tonight.
Joe says they are great people. Giroux Trucking, I agree. Love Tracy, Billy, the kids. They're just a great family and busy family. Holy crap! They homeschool.
Yeah.
They have the farm. They
do craft shows.
And baking and
Those
knitting
girls are
and-
sweethearts. They used to come to, you know, if Tracy came, if Billy was working down at the firehouse, and it was testing week, and she would come. She'd bring the girls. I'd put them in a little downstairs conference room by my office, but they'd make color pictures. This is when they were little, and they'd bring them for me to hang in my office.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
are. They're
sweethearts.
great kids, great
Yeah.
family, and they've been around here for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else is going on? Community news. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in the news. There is all the time. Right now, I saw this morning that they have a couple of like wanted posters out for people that are robbing and
Really?
committing all kinds of different crimes, and of course, mostly in the Burlington area. Resolved cases, murder cases, and violent crimes are also in the news. And then this one. It's not really news. This is something new happening around here. And I didn't know what it was. I had to look it up. So the Den has started doing pop darts.
Yeah, you tell me. I don't know what it is.
I didn't know what pop darts were. So
I like Pop Tarts.
yeah, well, I like Pop Tarts too. Those are pretty damn good. But these are darts that are like two-sided with the rubber ones, like what the kids used to use.
Oh, like with a little
And-
suction cup thing?
Yeah,
that
the
sticks?
suction cup things, and so each side has that, and it looks like a cornhole board that sits on the floor, and you throw the darts at that, and you try to get them on your color, and it's this whole weird thing. But anyways, it's a new craze, and they've started doing that at the Den on Monday nights at 6 p.m. And they had their first tournament this past Monday, yesterday. So I have to call Jeff and see how that went, and then we're gonna have to go check it out sometime because I really want to see what it is and watch some people play, see what that's like. Rosemary wants to know what's up with Foxy's. Do you know? I haven't heard anything new
We haven't heard anything.
since it went under contract. Do we even know who was trying to purchase it, how much the purchase amount was?
We
None
don't.
of that has been made public
don't.
yet.
Well,
somebody knows, but
we-
it hasn't been made public.
It's not public, correct.
Right. So somebody knows, just not everyone knows.
Right.
And I wonder when those sorts of things become public anymore, because that's been a conversation also a lot lately.
You know, right now it's privately owned, so it has nothing to do with us. It's just like if you were selling your house. It's
Right.
the town doesn't want it. They don't need to know.
But I guess what they want to know, so the city refused to buy it back, though.
Yep.
That's,
Yes.
that's,
We had first right of refusal. And
Right.
We passed.
and so now it literally has nothing to do with the city after that.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the main question of a lot of people was whether or not the city decided, yeah, sure, we need that building back. Right now, there's too much. Well, for one, it needs way too much. And
Oh, yeah.
two, we have too much other shit going on to be concerned about that at this point. When we should have been concerned was when it got sold to begin with, and didn't go to BADC and the partnership and the initiative that they had going, because that seemed like a really secure plan, and we wouldn't have even been in this position
Right.
at that point. That's my opinion.
But
anyway.
still, even back then, because that started when I was still working there, and that building is just it needs so much done to it. It's a money pit.
Joe wants me to bring you to line dancing at the Den.
Listen, Linda, ain't gonna happen.
Well, you can just go and watch.
I'll go and watch. Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
gonna dance?
You never know. Barb likes to go. She likes to go
Yeah.
up that night too. We like to go up and have loaded fries. That's what we like to go and do. But yeah, I mean, the Den always has some crazy stuff. Tonight's karaoke. They always have a ton of stuff going on. But let's go back to the police searching for this Vermont man wanted for assault and burglary, and a few other things. TJ, or Tristan Dunster, 40, disappeared from a trailer park on Neelan Flats in Waterbury. He is wanted for several charges, including aggravated domestic assault and burglary. 6'1", 220 pounds. If you see him, call police. And so his picture's on there. I think he's been involved with quite a few incidences over the last year and a half. And so if you see this guy, call the cops, call the state police, get him reported, let people know. You'll have to go when Chris plays there. Chris Powers, yes, absolutely. I would love to. If that's who you're talking about. He's one of my favorites. So I always try to, I haven't got to go see him in a little while. Barb Giroux says that is the problem with city owning businesses is so much has been given away, like the Wheelock building and the parking lot between, why isn't this going? Here we go with the lag again. It's not even loading her whole comment. The bank and the church. I heard a lot of people talking about that. The parking lot.
It's never used.
Yeah.
Drive by there any time of the day or the weekend. That section right there is never used.
Right, it's never used. And I think the trip up, oh yes, Chris Martin. I always think the trip up is when the city does things for a buck. People take that buck so literal.
Yeah.
And, they gave it away for a buck. And
They'll collect many more bucks in taxes.
right, and right now, there's no bucks collected in taxes on this this parcel of land that sits empty and unused. So that's the difference. But people hear the $1 and it's a hard stop right there. That's what they hear. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to listen to the whole story.
And they worry that was the giveaway. But the city already owned it, wasn't making money on it.
Right.
And so if they sell it to a buck and this investor actually puts something there on the tax base, and then you're generating money on a monthly basis.
Right. They'll have the tax base, they'll have their water bill, they'll have their sewer bill.
Yeah. And permits and licensing and all of that stuff. You'll buy it for a buck, but will you develop it? That's the question. Because they wouldn't sell it to anybody for a buck unless you were going to develop it. If you're going to do something to put it on the tax base.
And we have the developer all lined up.
Right. Everything is a go, ready to rock and roll.
It's the same developer that did City Place.
And they do amazing
we
work.
collect a ton in taxes on that building.
And right now, there is nothing being collected.
Right.
And so that's the difference. Yeah. The Barry Granite Association is proud to be sponsoring the Winter Solstice basketball tournament. So that was who did the tournament this past weekend. And then, so that's what they had done. And then this time they're saying they just want to give a big shout out to everyone who came, enjoyed the games, and how much they just enjoy doing that.
Who sent you that?
No, it's a post that they did.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the Barry Granite Association, they kind of fund that whole thing. So
they do a lot of stuff. And they had a lot of stuff going on up to for the kids' break this year.
Yeah.
They did a great job over the break.
Yeah, there was stick and puck, there was open free skating times, there was open gym time. Yeah. Michelle did a good job, plugging in stuff, giving kids a few options.
Yep. And then we're going back, so a couple of questions that are now coming in, and they go back to the whole, giving it up for a buck. Glenn says, so then why are the taxes so high? Jerry says, I think the buck thing is some people know about it. Towns tell these residents that they will sell for $1. And then Barb says, in the Wheelock building was pretty much given by the old mayor to his friends. But if they build a big apartment building in that lot, we already have police officers and emergency responders overworked. I'm not happy with building up the city. And that's a big conversation that everybody has had lately. It's a big concern for everybody with the crime and the problems that we already have, and the services are already taxed to the max, police and emergency. What's going to happen?
No.
Yeah.
So the building on Seminary Street will be owned and operated by Downstreet. And they do a great job with their building over here now, over by Keith Avenue. They take good care of their building, and they're pretty strict with their tenants.
I am glad you're listening today, Barb. She said, I bet you're glad I'm listening today. And I am glad, because if people are, I understand, people are complaining, they're mad, their taxes are high. People are scrimping and scraping and doing whatever they can just to buy groceries. And people have pretty heated opinions about this stuff. And no matter what your opinion is, unfortunately, it's all going to happen. No matter if I want it, you want it, however, it's going to happen one way or another. So I think it's good that people are talking about it, voicing their opinions, whether good or bad, or they're pissed or happy or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need to do. And I kind of agree sometimes. If you build it, they will come, Glenn says. And that certainly is a worry. It's a concern. but in as of right now, the promise has been that it will not be subsidized
That's
housing.
exactly.
It will absolutely, will it go by income? So, for
So
some of it, yes, it will go by income.
DEW is going to be the owner along
Right.
with Downstreet.
Right,
There's going to be a building superintendent that lives right in the building. It's not going to be, it's not going to turn into a Tilden House or North Berry Manor.
right. Two very different things.
They're totally
And,
different things.
This is kind of more like what they built up by the mall.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes, same type of thing.
Same type of thing where it's, they have said that this is absolutely not subsidized housing that's going. Will it, like I said, financially, will maybe a single mom who's working as a nurse up at the hospital or a teacher, will they, be someone who says, helps them adjust their rent so that they can afford to live there? That's quite possible. But that's not subsidized housing. That's two very different things. And I know that
There's
they
subsidized
said
and there's affordable.
right, exactly, and those are the two main things. And so, and I agree. Look at North Berry Manor and in Tilden and those houses. They are unsafe for the elderly.
Then take a ride up the hill and look at Ward 5 School.
Right.
That's a Downstreet project.
Right, and that's they did a very good job. And
Granted, it's only, 9
Yeah.
apartments, but
Yep.
they did a great job with that place.
And so the apartments, Berry Manor it was originally built
For elderly housing.
elderly, and so was Tilden.
They
right?
both were, yes.
And then somehow it
The federal government changed it to,
HUD.
yes. So it's based on income,
Right.
not on age.
And so, but that isn't anything the city had control over.
No.
Nor, not even the Berry Housing had control over.
It's just like the city can't tell you, I'm gonna buy an apartment house, and they're not gonna tell you who you can rent to. That's the federal government. That was their decision to change their regulations. And
Right.
my grandmother, when that first was built, my grandmother moved in there.
Into the Tilden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rosemary says his name is Obama. Added Section 8 to those homes. And that is a disgusting and horrible situation that has happened.
Yeah.
And it has turned all of the housing in the city, I believe, Washington Apartments, Tilden House, Berry Manor, the ones up on the hill, on Corey Hill, just past, all of them,
Jefferson Street.
all of them now they're HUD homes. They're not, and so it's really out of the hands of what the city can
Right.
do, and what even like Berry Housing can do. Anybody can do. That's a fight in Washington, and there's where you need to get on Bernie and his
Yeah.
Welch and his other posse,
Yeah.
and ask them to do something about it, because that's nothing that's going to change locally.
Right.
Nothing that can even change, even if we wanted to. So, yeah, and it is a shame. I think it's disgusting. We hear
Oh, yeah.
all the time about the drug issues there, the people being afraid to get in the elevator, walk their dogs, use the phone, whatever.
Well, we know there was a
be down in
drug
the
dealer
common
living
room.
there that got murdered.
Yeah, yeah. They don't want to sit in the common room anymore. They don't want to. People used to go down there and sit and watch TV, play cards together, do things, and people don't want to do that anymore. And then Jerry says then these places fall into disrepair, and that's also true. They don't have enough money to keep up with these things because they're not taking enough money in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too long ago, maybe a year and a half, Rosemary would know because I believe, yeah, she was at the meeting, and Michael, myself, Michael Deering, Michael Booten, a couple of others. There was a meeting at the Barry Manor, and people asked, "Why can't we get security?" They said, "We can't afford it. You know, we can't afford security
Well,
cameras.
I thought they had cameras.
Well, they do have some, but not as in, not
Yeah.
as many, and not as monitored, not as like we have better system here.
Yeah.
It dings constant. I can look, I can see everything that's going on in this building and outside around this building 24/7.
Yep.
And there's certainly enough shit that goes on here. That's for sure. I can't even imagine what it's like down there. Can't even imagine. Glenn says somebody's going to get rich off the deal. I wish this really would. I don't care if you sold it for $1. And maybe they will. Maybe do, or Downstreet will get rich. Who knows? But it's not the city.
See,
It's going to get rich.
I think
That's for
Downstreet
sure.
is limited as to what they can do.
I think they are too. Rosemary says, "I'll say it. If ever going to be fixed, Trump can do it." The HUD stuff, hopefully. I mean, I would love to think that we could actually have housing back for people 65 and over,
Yeah.
or whatever it was, 60 and over. And there were some, like if you were disabled, if you were severely disabled, wheelchair bound. So there were other guidelines and criteria too, besides the age, but it was not income. Income
No.
had nothing to
No.
do with it, and certainly not homelessness. Homelessness didn't mean that you got to live in one of those spaces.
Well, now when people end up in a nursing home, it sucks them dry.
Mm-hmm.
They have no money left.
Yeah, agree. And Lori says Downstreet does not get rich off of building affordable housing. And I agree with that.
don't.
I mean, I totally agree with that. The overhead is insane. Absolutely insane. The overhead is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's affordable, then you're definitely not making money off it. And landlords, I look at landlords is kind of like a small business owner. People think that, if you're a small business owner or if you're a landlord, then you're filthy rich, and that's so far
It's
from
a
the
total
truth.
opposite.
It's the total opposite. Maybe at one point in time it was, it was the big craze that you buy property, you have
Right.
you have real estate, you own real estate, and you're making all this money. But I just don't think that's the case anymore, especially even just the taxes alone and how people are taxed. It's, how you're taxed on a commercial property as opposed to the property you live
Right.
in, and all the way around. And then never mind the shit that you have to go through now, the licenses and the permits and the chances that you take with people renting and the programs and there's so much to it now that I'm surprised we have landlords left. Besides, we're lucky that we're not stuck with just state housing
Right.
at this point, state or federal housing, because a lot of landlords, they really lose their shirts doing this. I know some that have spent tens of thousands of dollars
After
just
they've thrown someone out.
after they've thrown someone
Yeah.
out just to renovate. Or I know somebody who on South Main Street bought a building that was absolute mess. It was full of drug dealers and drugs and this, that, and the other. He paid each person in the building to get out so that and it was a significant chunk of money to get out so that he could just condemn,
Yeah.
remodel, and rent the building. It's gross. It's gross. We'll see.
There's guys like Herb Heath that are very strict about who they rent to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to God, you almost have to give blood to get it.
Right, but it's Herb that will take the shit from the most of the people in the public because he's too expensive or he's too strict or
Right.
he's too, it's people like him that will take a whole raft of shit for being that way. It's not that he doesn't. He's a very kind man. He's
He
a very
is.
generous man.
Yep.
He and Tina both they're great people, but they're running a business.
Right. And Larry Lozier's another one,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And those guys, that's been their livelihood.
Joe says his landlord doesn't fix anything and still wants his rent, and that's shitty.
Yeah.
Those landlords should be called on the carpet if that's the case.
Well, then
Put
that's
it
where
out there.
that's where the housing inspection thing that the city runs through the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
That should be reported to, call down to the fire department and say you want the inspector
Nick
to come out.
Copping.
Yeah.
Say you want to speak with Nick Copping
Yeah.
and start telling
Get the
him, getting
wheels
this
turning,
shit-
because he writes that up, your landlord's got so many days to get it fixed.
And you also are all working on the ordinances for that, the
Yes.
nuisance properties
Yep.
and stuff, so that you can try to get that through.
Yep.
And so that some help is given to the landlord and the other tenants in the building that don't want to live like that
Right.
and are sick of dealing with the shit as well. So, yeah. All right.
Well, we did a lot today.
And we've got all kinds of people commenting and all riled up now that we're talking about all this stuff, and we're going to go because we've been on here for a little bit, and I have to go now deal with the freaking
Prescriptions?
pharmacy and prescriptions and insurance that I dealt with for 2 days now. Absolutely absurd, but Blue Cross and Blue Shield left the state of Vermont, and so everybody had to get new insurances. And my new insurances have not caught up yet. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
They don't know. Well, I think we need pre-auth for this or that, or I need a doctor's note or things. So I'm having to jump through these hoops that I've not ever jumped through before, and it's really starting to piss me off. And so I've been, today is 4 weeks since I've been able to have my Dexcom, my continuous glucose monitor for my diabetes. And today will be for day 4 that I've been waiting for medication that I should have gotten last week. And then yesterday I have some new stuff that was called in that isn't even close to ready because I'm on the hamster wheel. It's disgusting. And Walgreens, they're the most, those people, I don't know why this store remains open. They're dangerous. They are borderline dangerous, that pharmacy. They have their own department that deals with insurances, and they don't give a shit what your insurance company is telling them. My insurance company said override it by putting this code in, and they said nope. This is what we need for our end. Well, no, you don't. If they're willing to pay for it, they said they can't risk a chargeback. So it all comes to money. They don't want to risk putting some out there, and then, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'll go and deal with that. We'll get it over with. And then we'll be back on, the girls will be here tomorrow night for 4 quarters. We'll be here on Thursday afternoon for Table Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night, we'll be here for shenanigans.
Yeah.
And so I've invited Glenn to join us. I'm going to ask Barb if she wants to come down. Gianni,
Yep.
Booten, Deering, you, me, Liam. It's going to be quite the crowd.
Yeah.
So we'll see what trouble we can get into.
Oh, I was the only one that was quiet and behaved the last time.
You're so full of shit. Barb says, oh, hell no, take me with you. I'll bring my taser and we'll leave with your medicine.
I'm not bailing you two out, all right? Maybe Paul will, but
But you're going to leave us?
I'll bail you out. That's Paul's responsibility for Barb.
Oh gosh.
Now she'll
All
probably
right.
tase me for Christ's
She
sakes.
probably, that's it. You're never getting a Christmas card again.
I haven't even opened that one. Where is it?
Yeah. It's at the house.
Oh, you
Yeah.
took it out of the car?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I did.
oh.
So, anyways, we'll see you. Make sure you tune in, and we'll have a safe rest of your day. Stay warm. Enjoy some of the nice weather this
Yeah.
week. I mean, get some of the ice.
Must be the
shit
January
out of the
thaw.
driveway. Yeah.
No, I don't want to know what she said.
Paul says it might do them a little good to take. Might do them good to take a little time.
All right, Paul.
Screw you both.
Paul, no, because they don't really have conjugal visits.
Oh, you can't say that. Jesus.